Hello and welcome to this demo video. Before we get started, I'd just like to explain to you a few things which will relate to all of the basic range spreadsheets. Number one, there is a key on the intro and setup tab of all of the spreadsheets showing what the different color headers mean. The blue headers mean that the cell's formulated, so it's locked and you can't change it. The yellow headers are where you can input data, and occasionally there might be some gray headers, which is just a different kind of data input, but we'll include instructions as and when that happens. The other thing that you can be aware of is there are ways in which you can damage the spreadsheet. So please do take a look at the link where you see this image, which will take you to a web page to show you how to better preserve your spreadsheet. Please feel free to keep a blank version of the spreadsheet somewhere, so that if you do mess up a spreadsheet that you're using, you can in fact just open a new one, a blank one. And some of the spreadsheets only last for a year, and then you've got a blank one to start the following year. So do keep a blank copy as a backup somewhere. And lastly, wherever you see this image, you can click on it. It'll take you back to the store where you purchased this product to see if you've got anything, any more products. One last thing, to see a demo video, you can click on this on a link that looks like this in order to go to the demo video, but that'll take you to the most recent demo. If in fact we've done upgrades and you're using an older version and you'd like to see the demo relating to your version, then do click on the watch on YouTube link, which will take you to that specific video on YouTube. So I think that's all you need to know. So without further ado, let's move on to this demo video. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to this demo video for the bird watching analysis. Now before I get started, I've got a confession to make. I know sweet diddly squat about bird watching. However, my dad is a keen birder and he's got me making all these bleeding spreadsheets for it. So I thought I may as well just share them with you, and if this is your thing, then all the best to you. We start off on the intro setup there. What this spreadsheet does is it is specifically if you're going on a specific trip. So if you're going on a birding trip, if you're going on a holiday for a few days or a week or whatever the case might be, and you're going to go birding on that trip. I know my dad does this a lot. He goes to specific places to go birding. And when he gets back, he wants to be able to see what birds did I see, what happened, which day was best, all those kind of things. He's fascinated with those kind of statistics. So what this does is it allows you to set up for a particular trip, and it helps you to create sheets to fill in and all the rest of it. I'll show you how it works. So you put your name in, you can put the trip wherever you're going, it really doesn't matter what you put in there, and then put in up to 7 dates where you plan to go bird watching. And then the last thing to do is select the method. Now what this means is sightings of each bird. It depends how you're counting them. If you see a flock of 100 flamingos, do you count it as one or do you count it as 100? If you count it as 100, then select each bird. If you count it as sightings, then select sightings. It's as simple as that. Read through all of this blurb if you're using the spreadsheet, but I'm going to move on now for the sake of the demo. Once you've filled that in, you're basically ready to go. All you need to do is put in the bird name. Now as you can see, Birdie McBirdie Face, I have no idea about this kind of thing. I know there's some kind of eagles and owls, but that's about it. All right, so you got your bird names, your targets, basically how many do you want to see on the trip. Now again, if you've selected sightings, please make sure that you actually enter the sightings and not the number of birds and so on. Whichever one you've selected, make sure your numbers here tally up with that. Is it a possible lifer? Now, I didn't even know this was a term, but apparently a lifer is a bird that you've seen for the first time. So if it's a possible lifer, you can select yes. If it's not, just simply select no. And then the rest of that you set up at the beginning, the birds that you're hoping to see and the targets. And what that will do is it will create this list here. So this list is a printable list. There's no color on it really, so you can print this out and you've got a list of all of your birds. You can obviously sort, so you can sort this into alphabetical order first before you put these numbers in, because these numbers you're only going to be able to put in once you've seen them. So you basically put up to the lifer part, and once you put that in, you can print this list out. It's got all the birds one below the other, and you can actually take this along. My dad will scribble in here workings, how many birds he's seen, and then at the end of the day he'll put in a total for the number of birds that he's seen for that day. Then what he'll do is he'll go back, get on the laptop, and put in the totals that you've seen on each day of each of the different birds. right? So that's what you need to enter up until the end of the LIFO to get the printout. Get the printout. Once you've got that, come back once you've seen the birds and put the numbers in here. That will tell you the totals. As you can see, it'll show you all the blue columns basically total. So it'll total up the totals. You can have a look through that and whether you've seen it or not and all that kind of thing. You can see the 10 most common birds on your trip. You can see which birds, the 10 most common birds and how many you saw on each day. You can see the 10 rarest birds seen on your trip. Obviously, we've only entered 4, so they'll be the same, rare and common. But you can see which days you saw them. So that's just a bit of a report on your trip. If you go to your general and daily stats, you can see the general stats of what's happened. You can select 2 birds in these different sections to compare the two so that you can see where you've you can see the sightings and average sightings, all that kind of thing between the 2 birds here. If you scroll down, you got various reports based on those 2 different birds. So have a look at those reports once you've got some data into your spreadsheet. But basically, this is all completely automated, as are the bird stats. All you can do here is you can come in here and you can select up to 10 different birds. So you can come and select the 10 that you're specifically wanting to see. We don't want to select the same one twice. Select up to 10 birds that you want to see. You can see the stats for those 10 birds, how many you saw on each day. And if you come down here, you can select one bird. And if you select one bird, it basically pulls up the stats for that one bird. So you can see when you saw the bird, which day was the best, and which category it falls into, and did you hit the target, all that kind of stuff. So that is also a automatically generated. There are 1 or 2 things that you can select, like inputting the bird names here and selecting the bird at the bottom. And then you can also go down to your LIFO list and you can also see some stats on the 10 most seen LIFOs and that kind of thing. And then you can see all the birds where their possible LIFOs seen and possible LIFOs not seen at the bottom that you selected. So all of these blue tabs are all basically automatically generated with the odd selection that you can make. It all comes down to setting up the holiday, inputting the first 3 columns of data, and then simply printing out this list, collecting the totals that you've seen each day, inputting it in here, and job done. So yeah, if this is something that you're interested in, as you can probably tell, I have no idea, but I've made this, as I said, so if this helps you, all the best to you, and I wish you all the best of your birding trips. Thank you, and goodbye.